What's up, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Guys, I'm having equipment situations today, but listen, guys. Last night I went off on a little bit of a tirade explaining why they need to fire everybody at Bethune-Cookman University. And I still hold true to that. I'm not going to hold my tongue. I went to a HBCU, so I've experienced, you know, a little bit of some of the things that people talk about as far as HBCUs not being up to standard, among other things. But I mean, today I want to talk a little bit about Reggie Theus. And it seems crazy, like we keep talking about this, but new things have came out. I was sitting here and I was looking at Off Script, and it's a channel. You guys can go check it out. On Off Script, he had, I guess, on his podcast, one of the parents that was actually there when Ed Reed went off, and they had their child there who was the starting quarterback at a certain school being recruited, and he was on that said trip where Ed Reed went off, and she was in the room and she witnessed everything, and she tells her account of the story all the way from them getting onto the plane all the way up to them leaving. Now, I don't want to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play a little bit of the audio from it. And I want to explain why Reggie Theus. Yesterday, I called him the middleman. I think he one of the ringleaders of the bullshit that's going on down at Bethune-Cookman. So I'm going to sit back and let you guys listen to this. And tell me what you get from it. Leave it in the comments below. And I'll also leave the in the description box. I'll leave the whole link where you can go to his brother's channel, Off Script, you know, and shout out to him for covering the story, and you can see the whole thing, you know. But check this out real quick.
So all of this goes back to the current administration. So we as parents, when we sat in that room and we actually got a chance to get some questions to Reggie Theus, because what he did initially, it took forever for him to come on to even address us. He sent other people in there. There was one gentleman in particular that's been there since 1994, associated with the athletic department. And we basically told him, you're part of the problem. Because if you had all of this going on and we see no changes, what are you doing besides going along to get along?
Facts.
You can't do that when you're facing kids and when you're facing safety issues, when you're facing things like this to be put out on Front Street, and then all of a sudden you want everybody to shut up. Because basically, they only took a few questions from us. And why? Because we pointed the problem right back at them.
When did this meeting occur? Because I know I saw the meeting.
It was this past Saturday. We were there on campus from the night. We went that Friday on the 19th, and we left on Sunday the 22nd. The meeting occurred early a.m. Saturday morning when we were on the way for day 2 of the itinerary as far as what we were going to be doing on day 2. And this is what we're faced with the moment we hit the building. But the sad part is,
pay attention.
Not only that, they wanted him to cancel and tell us as parents and prospective students, as we were boarding the plane, they wanted them, Reggie Theus, wanted him to call us and say, hey, the meeting's canceled, go back home. And I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. And he said, no, we're not going to do that. These are recruits and they're highly recruited. I'm getting these guys in because, hey, they have agreed to come play for me. So I'm going to have these guys show up. Now, what y'all do is what y'all do. But how would you want someone to pick up the phone and call a prospective student and say, hey, don't come to BCU this weekend. This recruitment trip is canceled. If that's not the craziest thing I've heard, I really don't know what else to think. But they have some serious issues going on. You can't get rid of the board because, number one, the board is there until death or until they
step
return
down.
themselves.
Yep.
They're all in it together. Everybody covers up for everybody.
Let me ask you this: what were what? Because you know they say women intuition, right? So what was when you saw Reggie and he was speaking and you know he finally came out? What were your feelings towards him as he was speaking to you? How was his body language? You know, was he remorseful? Did you have any sense that he felt bad for the kids or what was going on? What were your feelings when he was talking to you?
I immediately thought of a coward. He couldn't even look us in the face. And if you go back and look at the video, his head is down when we told him, you're the problem. And we didn't beat around the bush. We told him directly, you're the problem. If you cannot sit up here and be honest and tell these kids, hey kids, I'm sorry. I didn't ask him to, you know, it's not the point in asking him to withdraw. I made a decision. Take ownership. Be accountable for what you requested.
Guys, I don't want to play the rest of the video. You guys can check it out. But, you know, shout out to Off Script, the YouTube channel. You guys can check it out. Got some good content over there. You know, and there was a good thing this young lady called and gave her side of the truth. She said some other things too. But honestly, man, they need to get Reggie Theus punk ass the fuck out of there. He needs to get the fuck out of there. You know, all of this slick shit, like she said, they, you know, try to cover stuff up. They're not being transparent. Stuff that we all talked about. And it's a damn shame, like I said before, that your own people do you like this. You know, this is a historic black college, but it's still nigga shit going on there. And these are older gentlemen, supposedly leaders of today, leading leaders of tomorrow. It's a goddamn shame the kids got to go there and deal with stuff that, you know, normal people or students at other universities don't have to go through. And it's not like they don't have money. They do. If you wanted to get the situation with the mold, and like, you know, speaking of that, that's the first thing you get rid of. You want to show that you're making progress and you really care about the kids and the university. First thing you can do is get the mold situation under control. Now, I'm sure they got ServPro, the company ServPro down there in Florida. You know, you getting all these certain amount of millions a year. That's not even a structural situation. That's a biochemical situation. You can get ServPro to come in there. I've used ServPro several times in my profession. You know, I'd hire them. You can go building by building, show some type of progress. This lady in this interview said stuff nobody else heard. She said there were buildings with structural damage where they had foundation problems where the crack went from the floor of the building all the way to the ceiling, and they was running around showing them this is where students live. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's no way I would send my kid there, or any place for that matter, and I have to think, you know, it's bad enough as a parent. You got to think, okay, my kid is on his own for the first time or on her own for the first time. Is she going to be safe? Is this a safe environment? How are they going to perform without me being a parent being there? How are they going to adjust to society and adjust to being on their own and get along with other people and handle conflicts, among other things, and not have to worry about breathing problems or the building fucking falling in on them? Now, I understand that the university's old and things take time, but I can tell you right now, you can already see that somebody is covering up somebody else, and it's just a whole big pot of bullshit. They need to go in there and get all of them motherfuckers out. And I'm dead serious. This lady, man, she had courage to come on there and tell the truth. I bet her son ain't going there. I bet her son's not going there. Now I understand why Ed Reed went off. And a lot of people that were speaking against Ed Reed, you just looking at the surface. Oh, he shouldn't have blew up on them like that. You can already tell when he got there, he seen it was so bad, he went straight to work. Reggie Theus said in that interview yesterday in the video, I said, oh, I didn't know. I thought he was just going to look around. I didn't know he was going to stay here. And that's, of course, the shit is in dire situations. Real men step up. He's seen it, and he tried to address the situation. That's what it was. Because Reggie Theus yesterday said in his interview, oh, I don't know if it was he came in and he started too fast. No, what it was he came in to solve the problem. He's seen the problem, and y'all been there forever and ain't did nothing. He's seen the problem and started addressing, and y'all was like, you know what? Hey, man, what he's bringing up and what he's trying to do is it's going to take money out of our pockets. Now you can't slow roll the students no more because they're kids. You know, you got a more mature mind, and you can tell them anything sitting up on your high horse where they can't see up on your level. Oh, we're working on it. We're working on it. We'll send a letter that we know students ain't going to read. We want to talk to the president, but he calling the cops on you when you're protesting. Then in the interview with the president on the Road Martin show, he going to say, oh, it's nothing wrong. I support the protest, but you called the cops on him. Then he says some old offhanded bitch-ass comment. Oh, I'd rather they protest against Governor DeSantis saying he doesn't want to, he wants to ban African-American studies and all. See? Don't matter if he banned the studies or not. If the place is unsafe where the study would be. It's a damn shame, man. Listen, guys, check out Off Script. You can see the whole interview there. I'll send you a link in my description box. Reggie Theus is a bitch. Get him the fuck out of there. Get him and the rest of them clowns out of there. This is a damn shame. And man, this is just messed up. You could hear the hurt in the lady's voice. The embarrassment. She's excited for her son. He's excited for him as well. You don't know what's over the horizon, but the closer you get, it look worse than where you presently at, and your expectations is shot. And it ain't that the building looks bad. Like this is the thing. With all of the stuff and the problems they say they having, and all of the stuff these parents are saying, and I give this lady confident credit. She never once said in the interview, I told my son, I wouldn't go here. She left it up to him. And she said he still was gung-ho and ready to sign after seeing all of that shit. You know why? Because a lot of children that want change and a lot of people that want communion amongst their own people, they will settle for less just to build a communion with their own people and go to a historic school and say, you know what? I was part of something great, and I was around my people, learning my education and all that stuff, and I was loyal to my folks. Look at this. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. You got people down there. I mean, you can just work in increments at a time, getting the mold out and dealing with the situation. But like she said, they all cover up. They all cover each other up. You know, you can't get rid of the board until they step down. Why would you step down off of a sweet gig? It's like you living off the backs of your people just for a title, and you collecting a paycheck for nothing. You know, you just want the title saying you're this and you're that, but you're not doing nothing for the people that need you the most. Guys, leave me a comment. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm Stock Market Steve. Check it out, man. See you in the next video.